This is Jake Tucker 13 here, and today I'm going to be doing a Spanish squad, continuing the new sort of like series where I take a look at a national team or a league and put up the best squad in my opinion, like the best FIFA squad. So I'm going to start off with the goalkeeper, and of course it's going to be Casillas in goal. There are a number of players you can use here, like many positions in this team. Casillas is the highest rated, and in my opinion, by far the best. Definitely the best in real life. Not many goalkeepers at all are anywhere near his level. Even still, the fact that he doesn't play is just a little bullcrap, and mainly just a problem started by Jose Mourinho. He's still just as good of a goalkeeper. But anyways, in game he's pretty decent. The only real problem with him is his height. And on to the first center back, and you can probably guess who these two are. It's going to be Ramos and PK. Now, obviously, if you have the coins, you're going to want to go for that Team of the Year Ramos, which is amazing. Like, the stats on it are by far one of the best defensive stats. The only players that can match it are Maldini and Thiago Silva, if you prefer either of them. And then PK over here. Now, both these players, PK has an inform if you want to buy him, but both these players are two completely different players. PK is more on the defending side, and Ramos can get up in the attack, and so can PK, but Ramos does a little bit more, and he's quicker. Now, Ramos has more heading, but Ramos is also shorter, and PK is he's 6'4", very strong, and he's going to be winning a lot more headers. He's your main corner threat. You can score lots of corners with him. And on the left, we're going to have Jordi Alba, definitely one of the best left backs in the world currently, and the best for Spain. Now, on the right back position, now there's a lot of players here that you can use. If you like the 3-star skills, you're going to want to go with somebody like Azpilicueta, or maybe, I don't know, there's a couple of other players. I would use Azpilicueta for the skills, but probably the best is going to be Montoya back there. There we go. 77 rated and 88 pace, 75 dribbling, 76 passing, 74 defending, pretty bad heading, and absolutely atrocious shooting. But your outside backs and center backs, neither of them need shooting. So he's got the important stats, the pace. He's got decent dribbling, decent passing. The only thing he lacks is the 2-star skills, which it just depends on what kind of player you are. I like using a lot of 3-star skill moves. So, I'd probably pick somebody else there, but overall, he's probably the best right back for Spain. In real life, it's probably Carvajal, but anyways, onto the center mid. Now, you could use a couple of players here, Fabregas, Xavi, but Iniesta is definitely the best. Now, he's not going to win much headers, so, that's why you have these two solid center backs back here. But, he's not way too slow like Xavi, and he still has his 72 shooting, and 91 passing, 91 dribbling. One of the best center mids in the game. And if you can afford that Team of the Year card, definitely go for it. I think it's got like 81 pace. Some higher shooting, higher everything, and it's just a much better card. One of the best players you can have in the game. On to the offensive mids. Now there's 3 main players you can use here, and that's Juan Mata, David Silva, and Santi Cazorla. Now, I'm going to go with Cazorla on the left and David Silva on the right. Now, David Silva is left-footed, Cazorla is right-footed. Now, it depends on whether you're going to be crossing or shooting with these players, on which side you want to put them. I usually take shots with my offensive mid, so I'm going to want the left-footed player on this side and the right-footed player on this side, on the left side. And both these players are really good. Both of them, like Juan Mata, actually have very similar stats, similar pace, similar shooting, similar passing, similar dribbling. The defensive technique don't really matter, but Juan Mata just has a little bit less than both of these players. So, these two are the ideal offensive mids. Cazorla with the 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, Silva with 4-star skill moves, Unfortunately, a 2-star weak foot, so his right foot is terrible, but he's still a very good player. And on the left-hand side, there are a couple of players you can use. I'm going to go with David Villa, simply out of the fact that he's one of my favorite players in real life. Even though he does play for did play for Barcelona. I was a Madrid fan. Um, Still am a Madrid fan, but he's now at Atletico Madrid, which are Real Madrid's city rivals. But still, he's one of my favorite players. Not for club, for country. That's why I like him. And I still think he's one of the best strikers in Spain. And really, he should be a striker in the game. But anyways, his pace is pretty bad. His shooting is amazing. Passing is decent, and dribbling is pretty good as well. Does have 4-star skills, and either 4-star or 5-star weak foot. I'm not sure. I don't use as much Spanish players in the game. But anyways, out on the right-hand side, it is going to be Jesus Navas. Now, also out on the left-hand side, you could use Diego Capel if you want the pace. Also has 4-star skill moves. And Navas on the right, you could also use Deulofeu here if you want a cheap alternative. I prefer Deulofeu in game actually, but a lot of people like using Navas. I don't know. It just kind of depends on what kind of player you are. I guess. It does have very decent stats. Amazing pace, pretty decent shooting, pretty good passing, and good dribbling. He's got those 4-star skills. And then on to the striker, and it is going to be a silver player, Jesus Rodriguez, who is amazing. Should be a gold based on real life. He's an amazing player. Has had an amazing season. He scored in like, 4, 5, or 6 in his last 7 or 8 games. He's just an outstanding form right now. Definitely deserves an inform. Along with, certain players got upgraded that are nowhere near as good as Rodriguez is. Now that brings the price of the squad up to 360,000. That's if you use all these players. There are a lot of alternatives you can use here. Like if you want to replace Ramos, you can use Inigo Martinez, who is similar to Ramos in the fact that he's got pace, heading, and defending. Is kind of small at 180 centimeters. Ramos is 183 centimeters. Not that much of a difference. But anyways, and Iniesta, Rodriguez, those are the two other, I think the two most expensive. You can use Rodrigo here, and then Fabregas here if you want some cheap alternatives. They're both good in different ways. And then Cazorla and Silva, I would just say that it's worth the money just to get them. But you could use Isco, Koke, Thiago. There's lots of alternatives. Out the left mid, you can use Capel instead of Villa, who's not that much cheaper. Like I said before, Deulofeu there for Navas. And at that point, if you subbed out all those players, you could probably make this about a 60 or 70k team. So it just depends on what kind of coins you have. This team right here, pretty decent squad. Maybe not worth 360,000. If you have 360,000, definitely try them out. It's a pretty decent squad. It just depends on what kind of player you are, on how well you will do in game. If I was building a team, I'd probably build a cheaper alternative. Maybe keep a couple of players like Ramos and Villa, Navas, and these three. Probably sell out those two just because they're expensive. But anyways, the weaknesses in the team, there's not really any. Rodriguez, you might say, because he's a silver player, but 87 pace, 72 shooting, 85 dribbling. 72 shooting, he has better than that in game. Slightly, I'd say he has like 76 shooting in game. His heading is 53, which is ridiculously bad for a striker. But he's like 6'1", something like that. And he gets onto headers and has he'll score a surprising amount of headers for you if you use him. Even though he does have 53 heading. So, he's an all-around great striker. And then Montoya over here is also a very low-rated player and non-rare. But he is a great right back. So, not really many weaknesses in this squad. The strengths are all over the pitch. Alba is one of the best left backs in the game. PK is going to win all kinds of corners for you. Ramos is a solid center back when he's back there. It is nice that PK is slightly slower and a little bit more defensive. And they're just great players. Great team all around. So that'll be the end of the video. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.